Zinedine Zidane. When you hear that name, the first thing that might come to your mind is that iconic volley in the 2002 Champions League final. You think of elegance, you think of greatness, you think of one of the most gifted footballers to ever touch the ball. But as a manager, many fans and even critics called him lucky. But here's the reality. Zidane wasn't lucky. He was smart, calculated, and criminally underrated as a tactical genius. This is the breakdown of how Zidane built one of the most dominant teams in European history, and why his managerial success wasn't luck, it was a masterclass. This comes as another fan request following our latest video on Zidane. I want to thank everyone for their support of the channel, and if you have any more fan requests, submit them in the comments. Make sure to also hit the subscribe button if you're submitting fan requests. Thank you, and let's get right back to the video. Let's start with the obvious. Managing egos at Real Madrid is not an easy task. You're dealing with world champions, Ballon d'Or winners, Galacticos, players who don't like being rotated or benched. Zidane walked in with the perfect balance of humility and authority. As one of the greatest ever, he commanded instant respect, but he didn't use that to dominate the dressing room. He used it to connect. He paired that man management with tactical clarity. He gave every player a defined role. No confusion, no chaos, just structure. It wasn't about shouting from the sidelines. It was about preparing players to know what to do, how to react, and when to adjust. Zidane's most brilliant decision: putting faith in a midfield trio that would become legendary. Casemiro was known as the destroyer, the shield, the guy who made others shine. Kroos was a tempo settler. He dictated pace with his precision. And Modric was the magician, press-resistant, dynamic, and always available for the outball. This trio balanced each other perfectly. Zidane gave them freedom within structure. He didn't demand they reinvent the wheel or solve the string theory. He simply amplified their strengths. And this midfield wasn't just great in possession. It was elite in transition, dominant off the ball, and essential in controlling the biggest matches in Europe. Zidane knew Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't going to press or track back, and that was fine. Instead of forcing it, he built the system around it. He made sure that the rest of the team covered the defensive gaps, and in turn, gave Ronaldo total attacking freedom. The most underappreciated player in this dynamic, Karim Benzema. Zidane asked Benzema to do the dirty work. Drop deep, link play, drag center backs out of position. Benzema was sacrificing his own goal tally so that Ronaldo could thrive, and Zidane orchestrated that chemistry perfectly. Zidane wasn't rigid. He wasn't a one-system manager. His base shape was often a 4-3-3, but he adapted constantly. He often used a 4-2-2 diamond, used to overload midfield and get Isco or James Rodriguez involved in tighter games. A 4-2-3-1 was also used when he wanted more attack and freedom from wingers, or to bring out Ozil from Isco. 3-5-2 was another formation that was used against stronger opponents when width was crucial, or when he needed an extra center back. And finally, a 4-5-1 was to control heavy games, especially in Champions League away matches. Zidane could switch systems mid-game, and his players were so well drilled that they adapted on the fly. The level of tactical flexibility was nothing short of rare. People always say Zidane didn't coach, but let's look at some of the most iconic adjustments. 2017 UCL final versus Juventus. The first half was 1-1. Zidane noticed Juve's midfield tiring. So what did he do? He told Kroos and Modric to push higher, release the fullbacks, and let Isco float between the lines. What was the result? Real Madrid exploded in the second half. They scored 3 unanswered goals and became the first team to retain the UCL in the modern era. That's not yelling, that's coaching. Zidane's Madrid wasn't known for parking the bus, but their defensive structure in big games was elite. Casemiro always sat deep. Fullbacks like Carvajal and Marcelo had the green light to push, but only when Modric or Cruz could cover. Ramos and Varane, disciplined, aggressive, and positioned perfectly. Zidane made sure every attack had built-in cover. And beyond tactics, his team had mental steel. Their comebacks versus PSG and the late winners versus Bayern proved this, especially in their penalty shootouts, extra time, and pressure, all in which they thrived under. That's coaching psychology. One of Zidane's most underappreciated moves was his ability to rotate without sparking chaos. He made sure every player in the squad felt important. Lucas Vázquez, Nacho Fernandez, Asensio, Isco, Morata. All of these players allowed Madrid to stay fresh for the UCL while rotating in La Liga. And guess what? They still won the league with 93 points. Rotation isn't just about fresh legs, it's about keeping morale high. Zidane mastered that. While other managers try to overcoach, Zidane's brilliance was knowing when not to interfere. He gave players like Marcelo, Modric, and Ronaldo the space to express themselves. Not every manager can handle superstars without clashing. Zidane, he never lost in the dressing room, not once. Even when he left in 2018 and again in 2021, it was because he felt the board didn't back him, never because he lost control of the team. So you watched this whole video and still think Zidane was lucky? Let's check the numbers. 3 Champions Leagues in a row, 2 La Liga titles, winning percentage over 66%, 2 UCL campaigns unbeaten from start to finish, back-to-back-to-back UCL knockout wins over Bayern, PSG, Juve, and Atletico. No one does that without tactical understanding. Zinedine Zidane wasn't just a legendary player. He proved that he was an elite manager. He didn't overcomplicate. He didn't chase trends. He focused on balance, flexibility, clarity, and trust. And it worked. He didn't just guide a team. He led a dynasty. 3 Champions Leagues in a row is not luck. It's legacy. And Zizou's tactical blueprint, it deserves way more respect than it gets. Because behind every trophy lift, there's a plan. And behind Real Madrid's greatest era in modern history stood Zinedine Zidane. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more tactical breakdowns of football greatest minds. We're working hard to produce these videos, and I'm sorry that we haven't been uploading as much as we'd like to. That's all for today. As always, I'm Aiden Castro. See you tomorrow.